My name's Nathan. I'm one of the developers on Epic Card Game, the new game from White Wizard Games, the makers of Star Realms. Epic is a strategy card game of mythic battles of gods fighting against each other in a mortal world created just for that reason. You have a deck. In this, the product comes with 120 game cards. The way we teach it, you shuffle, each player gets 30 cards, off you go. There are many ways to play the game, including drafting and sealed and pre-constructed and constructed deck and Epic Cube format, but today I'm just going to show you doing the random format. So I have a deck of 30 cards. Some of them are champions. These attack for me or defend against my opponent. And I also have events. Events are representative of the will of the gods taking place in the mortal world. And the game's really simple. We each start at 30 health, and the object of the game is to reduce your opponent to 0 health, and you win. Sometimes, not today, if you draw every card in your deck and then draw one more card, you win the game. It's not going to happen with these random decks. The game's really simple. I have 30 cards, and they're all events and they're heroes. There are no resource cards in the game. We didn't want to have a game where you had cards that let you play other cards. You're a god. You're a goddess. You just go. So all the cards in our game cost either 1 gold or 0 gold. On each turn, you get a gold. That includes on your opponent's turn. So you get a gold on your own turn, you get a gold on your opponent's turn. So Epic, on a tactical level, is not about, do I have the right cards that let me play the other right cards? It's about, okay, I have several cards in my hand. How am I going to craft this hand into a strategy that's going to get me a win? So let's play. Each player takes their deck, you shuffle it up, you draw 5 cards. The first person going first does not draw cards to start the turn. Otherwise, you draw a card to start each turn. And I look through my hand, and I see one of my favorite cards, and I slam down the Rampaging Worm. The Rampaging Worm is 14 attack, and has 14 defense, which means if my opponent managed to do 14 damage in one turn, it would be broken, and I'd put it in the discard pile. It has Blitz, which means I can attack right away. Normally, I couldn't. So I attack. My opponent is then allowed to play cards. He or she might want to block. After they block, we both place cards back and forth. Then damage is dealt to each other's champions. If my opponent didn't block, I would just hit them. 30 minus 14 is 16, and I'm almost halfway to victory. After my turn is done, if they haven't spent their gold yet, they can still play cards to spend that gold. And then it's a new turn, they get a gold, I don't, they get a card, I don't, we both get a gold. And it goes back and forth like that. One of the biggest differences between these sorts of games and other games on a gameplay level is you have as many attack steps as you want. So let's say, for instance, that my opponent had a couple of champions out, and I had several, I had a couple of zombies and a couple of wolves. I could attack one at a time. I attack with this, and my opponent could block or not. If he blocks, what he blocks with is going to take the full force of the Rampaging Worm. But he could, gang them up and maybe play a card to destroy it. If I attack with everything at once, a single blocker can block the whole group. But why would I ever attack with a big group together? It's because if you play a trick that puts a big champion into play to block, I'm probably going to destroy it if I attack with one big group. In a situation like this, a lot of times you'll see someone attack with something, and then they'll block. That would get destroyed. And then here I would attack with a big group. Here's 8 points of attack all at once. If Palace Guard blocked, he would do 6 into this group. I would do 8 to that. And he would wipe out 3 of my guys, but I would still remove this. But if I do this and my opponent has a trick and maybe destroys one of my wolves, then that's going to be a bad day for me. The biggest thing is, you're a god. You can do things in any order you want. You can play cards and attack. You can attack and play cards. You can attack a little, play something, attack some more. And it's this flexibility that I think makes our game stand out. On the business model, you buy the game, you get the game. It comes with 120 game cards. It comes with 8 double-sided token cards. And that's the game. There's no rares to chase. There's no hard-to-get cards to chase down. We're a big fan of, you spend $15 with us, we're very grateful, and we give you the game. And this is enough for 4 players. If you love it a lot, you buy a second copy, and I have enough for 8 players. And if you think we're the best thing ever, spend $45 and you get enough to build an epic cube or to build constructed decks to play against other players. That's the product. I love this thing. I've been playing it nonstop since I joined the company. And you can find out more at epiccardgame.com.